how to survive getting rocked. When you get clipped with a shot, your legs either go kind of tingly, or you get little spots, or just all of a sudden you're down on one knee, or whatever else goes with it. Okay? We want to know how to go about keeping ourselves safe and making sure, especially if it's a fight, we're able to rally and come back. This was actually a requested video by somebody. I might have done one in the past touching on this, but it's always good to do an updated one and make sure everybody on the channel understands how to stay safe. But first I want to let everybody know that my upcoming Strike Ready course, Takedown, where we focus on catching kicks and sweeping out legs or getting to the clinch and dumping people to the ground, it launches on March 10th. When doors close, at midnight on March 9th, you are no longer able to join. We have a link down below. You can still save. You can get yourself registered for this fantastic course, which I developed myself, which is going to have 25 plus videos, 3 live calls, and just an abundance of information to take your skill set and just shoot it up. Now we are talking about how to avoid getting rocked and then not being able to come back. And while this is probably most important for people who are competitors, it does also matter in the gym, especially if you've got a little bit of an ego. And let's be honest, most of us do. Most of us don't want to do the logical thing, which is we get hit, whatever sensation happens, like we get, really the only ones that I've ever had before are, I feel like a little buzz kind of through my body. I get hit and I'm kind of like buzz. I feel that, or a couple times where my legs have just gone really sluggish. All of a sudden I get hit and I'm like, oh, they feel a little stiff. Unfortunately, this has only happened to me less than a handful of times. We're talking like maybe that many times. And we don't want this happening consistently. But if we were smart, we would get hit, we'd have that sensation, whatever it is, and we would go, whoa, okay, give me a second. And if we're in the gym, we're taking time to make sure we're not very seriously damaged, because at that point you've already had a concussion. Now it might not be a major one, but it definitely is a minor concussion. So that's if we're being smart. But so many of us are not smart and our ego takes over. We get hit, we feel that buzz, or we get little blinky lights or whatever other sensation happens. Many people have described to me what happens. I haven't had some of those, but we get hit, we're like, whoa, and now we're going, okay, now it's on. Now I'm going to throw back, and you better watch yourself. That's what normally happens. How do we survive? What are the best ways to survive being rocked? Number 1, I want you guys in the ring to keep in mind that we used to have 8 counts. Many fight sports had 8 counts. That means if you're on your feet and you get dummied and the ref decides, oh, he's still getting hit, he'll step in, he'll give you the 8 count. They don't do this anymore. What does that mean? If you get dummied and the ref sees you taking damage, he's going to step in, he's going to stop the fight. So one of the very first things that you have to learn how to do in certain moments is take a knee. And I've done this once or twice. I've done this twice, yeah, 2 times in my career where I got hit. I was like, okay, I feel compromised. I could fight on, but I think it's safer for me right now just to drop the knee down. Keep myself protected, take my full count, you know, 1, 2, 3, stay down, 4, 5, get up, ride out the full 10 count, recover. That is the smartest thing to do when you're in the ring. But let's assume we're not having that level of intelligence. We're not willing to take a knee. Maybe we know on the scorecard we can't afford to do that. Well, the very first thing that we have to get very, very good at is utilizing movement and a high guard. If you are dropping your hands down and you're like, okay, I just got rocked, but I'm just going to use my footwork now, and the person happens to catch you, you're in trouble. If you just stand your ground here, good chance you're going to be in trouble. So I get dummied, hands are up, and I start my movement. I'm moving around and I'm making sure that I am letting this situation pass as quick as it can, because getting rocked, as far as I understand, it could be done like that. I knocked down Lerdsila, and by the time he had fallen down midway, he was already regaining consciousness and then popped back up, but he was out for a moment. So it can be like that. It can also be a lot longer. You could spend, I've seen some people for like 20 seconds on their feet, sort of like, whoa, 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 whoa. So we don't know how long it's gonna take, but with a high guard and footwork, you have so much more chance of surviving. So that's the very first thing that you should be looking at doing. And let's be real, that could be a difficult task if you have not trained it. And you don't want to train it in the sense like, okay, come over and punch me, I'm going to experience this, and then I'll try and work on how to stay up. That's dumb. What you can do, and what amateur boxers at a very high level will do, is they'll do their spins. Get really dizzy, and then when they come out, I don't know if you're doing this for 30 seconds to get really dizzy, then when you come out, try to see if you can do this without feeling too off balance and falling over. And it'll at least train you for those moments. Now, the next way that we survive being rocked is we close distance and we suck up seconds to recover by wrapping the person, wrapping them up. So if I just got hit, I jump in, I close the distance. I don't like to reach prematurely. I don't want to be like this because my head's wide open. I keep that high guard. It's always a high guard after you get rocked. I put the high guard up, I push forward. As soon as I connect, now I wrap up with them. That's going to be one of the other ways to burn off seconds. Now, obviously the ref is going to get in there. And as soon as he breaks you, you're back to your high guard and you're pedaling away. You're pedaling around again. But as we're talking about that, let's dive in a little further on that footwork and that high guard. If you simply go on the run and it's very visible that you are super duper damaged, the guy is gonna come after you like a bull with the red sheet or a cape or whatever the heck it is. He's gonna be trying to impale you. You need to stay on that jab. And you need to once in a while, ba-boom, take a risk and put some combos together, because if I'm pedaling and I don't do anything, oh, he's gonna chase me down. But if I start pedaling around and then I'm kind of like bang, bang, and then I go back to my work, at least it keeps him thinking that he has to be a little bit defensive, which again, will give you more time. Now, faking is gonna be another way to kill time and make this person recognize that yes, something can come back. I go to my high guard and I start just twitching away, just giving those little stutters, because again, he's going to be going, oh, okay, I can't just charge in. That's going to be a massive part of chewing up time and giving yourself more recovery. And that's really what we want. When I see somebody who just got rocked and they decide to step in and engage, I'm just, oh, every time. UFC, the fighters do it so often. It's almost like this badge of honor. Like I was hurt and I just went in and went crazy. It's so dangerous. You're so compromised already. Do not do that. Give yourself whatever it is, 5 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever it takes until you feel like, okay, I'm focused, I'm back. And if you can make it to the end of the round, that's even better. Right? If you have the ability to gauge how long is left and you make it back, you're like, yeah, okay, maybe I lost that round, but now you have the full minute to recover. Your coaches can do whatever they need to do to help you. And let's talk about a couple of things we can do to stop ourselves from being as rocked, or things that I have utilized in the corner in the past. One of them, which I really liked after getting knocked down once, my buddy, he grabbed my hair, and he just gave me a little shake. And we saw Buakaw do this one time when he got rocked. His coaches grabbed his hair and whoop, just not aggressively, but just enough. So that was something where I went, oh, that one kind of brought me back. Just the sensation of the tight grab on the hair and just that little shake kind of like, woo, brings you back. Something cold. I like to have ice water in the corner, very cold water. I like to pour it on my head between rounds if I'm remembering to do it, because I find it kind of snaps me back into the moment. Okay, so if you are in that situation where you're rocked or your cornerman and your fighter's rocked, a little cold ice water on the head just to make sure, boom, they're getting back there as quick as they can. I have found, at least in my experience, that those two are beneficial. And we could dive much deeper. We could start going into why are you getting rocked? This is not something that should be happening. So to prematurely deal with this, number one, we have our defense. Why is your defense that compromised? Number two, is your head snapping too much when you get hit? Are you doing your neck conditioning, your neck strengthening? I already have a video. It's the one I do right there. I do it during all my training camps, get that neck strong. So if I do get clipped and my head's snapping back, at least I have some extra muscles there to hold it in place and less damage from that whiplash. But of course, defense first and foremost. And I've talked with you guys, if you took my Strike Ready defense course, about all the steps that we can take to train it. If you haven't done that course yet and you're feeling like your defense is not on point, you really should. It will help you so much. But something I mentioned in the course is learning, and we talk about it in more detail, but learning when you're on offense, how to be defensive. If it's just me going, okay, it's my turn and I'm attacking, and you get clipped and you get dummied there, you get rocked there, yeah, because you're only thinking about one thing, and it's this. We need to have the ability to be defensive, so while I'm throwing, still catching shots, but throwing back, whether it's head movement or blocking. But of course, once we step out, and this is far easier to be solid on defense out here, but once we have this space and somebody's throwing at us, we need to be really good at that, because that is the biggest thing that you can do to stop yourself from getting rocked. But build up that neck, of course, why not? And outside of that, everybody, there is no massive cheat sheet to help you from not getting rocked, right? Some people have glass jaws and you touch them. I have legitimately just thrown up light, lazy kicks, hit people before and seen them buckle and go, whoa, okay, I can't tag this guy to the head. They don't have the ability to stay up. Other people, where you hit them and you're like, my gosh, this guy will not drop. He will just keep walking through punches. People like Rod Tang, how can he stay up? I don't know. There's no actual science that I have figured out, because we don't go inside and go, oh, okay, you know, the cushion between the brain and the skull is that much thicker and there's that much more fluid that's just going to stop them from getting knocked out. I don't know if there's any science behind that, but overall, if you are getting consistently rocked, and this is something that you're concerned about, the very first thing I would say is get that defense on point and lighten up in your sparring, because every time you get rocked, whatever the sensation is, a buzz, little blinky stars, headache after, that's all concussion symptoms, and you don't want those. So lighten up on the sparring if it's something you're able to do. And a lot of times you have to pull ego out of it. You have to say, I want to go a little lighter today. Or they hit you too hard, they swing and you block it. You're like, whoa, let's just go a little bit lighter. Hard thing to do, but important. Hope this helps everybody and you're able to just figure out how to avoid getting rocked, how to train it, things you can do if it does happen in a fight. If you appreciated the video, make sure you get subscribed, give it a like, and I will see you guys back here very soon.